For everybody who's watching the podcast, I would like to state that this is being recorded on the 29th of June. That way then, in a month's time, if everything's been resolved and we're all living in a happy daisy field, then this has no relevance kind of thing. So, alright, Pocket, I guess while we're on the topic of Hive content and the state of it at the moment, this was actually a topic in a podcast. And once again, for everybody who's watching the podcast, I would like to state that this is being recorded on the 29th of June. That way then, in a month's time, if everything's been resolved and we're all living in a happy daisy field, then this has no relevance kind of thing. So,
please don't get cancelled in a month, I'll cry.
Please. So, what are your thoughts on the Hive community at this current time? You're the best person to talk to about this. So,
shit.
If you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. We can leave this out, Pocket, if you don't want to talk about it.
That is a hard question to answer. No, that's the thing, because, this is a podcast. This is probably like 15 minutes, 20 minutes deep. So if anyone's watching this and they send this around or whatever, it's okay. I'm going to be more open. That's one thing I've learned in life is it's good to be an open person. It's good to be honest. There's some things you shouldn't talk about, obviously, that are really controversial.
Doesn't mean you need to lie, though.
But, yeah, it doesn't mean you should lie and, not be honest. But
like I said,
the Hive community,
yeah?
That's a hard question because it's like I view the Hive community in different ways. I view the community itself, like with all the members. Then I could view the server because the server plays a big part in it. And I want to say the server's fine. I want to say the server's doing good. I think it'll always be a community. Say again?
Do you want me to narrow this down for you then, so to what I meant here?
Go ahead. Yeah,
so
go ahead.
Specifically the Hive community, and because we've seen about 5 different forms of drama in the last 5 days, alright? So I guess like we're not going to talk about the drama. We're not going to address the drama. I just want to know what your thoughts are on
general thoughts on the drama. Though,
yeah. And once again, if you don't talk about this, we can cut this out. We can forget about this, or you can touch on it and we can keep it in the podcast. It's up to you.
No, I'll be honest. I think it's childish as hell. I feel like most of the drama that happens in the Hive community is just unnecessary. I think it happens because a lot of people are still immature in the community and really young. And then I feel like everyone's just bored too. I feel like there's nothing really too much to do. So people are just they'll literally play like an SMP or something, and then somebody does something or says something, and then whoop, there's some Twitter drama, and then it gets blown out of proportion. People start picking a side, and then things get crazier, and then people start DMing people to make videos about it, and then more people get involved about it, and then everyone's talking about it on Twitter because our community has nothing else better going on. So then it just keeps getting blown out of proportion. It's a cycle, and then a few days later it dies down, and no one ever talks about these situations again. Like, what was the point of it in the first place? And then something new happens a couple days later, and it's the same type of thing, and it's just a recycling bin of drama and drama and drama. And sometimes it's some serious things, like it's something like really out of pocket, no pun intended. And then there's and then there's situations that are just really dumb. Like I would say like the last 3 situations are just ridiculous to me. Like I just don't even know what's happened. Especially, I don't even care, the Dayovi situation, like that's probably the most outlandish shit I've seen ever. Like honestly, like in this community, I cannot believe somebody would throw away their career like that, like I don't know what people are thinking,
And that's what I mean. Oh, yeah, go on, Jake.
Even still, okay, like talking about Dayovi, even still, if he admitted it, like while still being a good person, I still don't think it could have gone down that well. Like even if like
I think it would have gone down
more
better.
toxic. Yeah, maybe, but like he was progressively getting more toxic. I used to be really good friends with him. I used to be really good friends with Dayovi because I had no idea. He dropped hints at me at who he was. I never caught on, like I was the one who asked.
Never
I
clear
knew
hints,
he was an
never
alt.
clear hints.
Yeah, I knew he was an alt. I knew he had like 0 gamer score. He had no past links. I was like, okay, there must be a big reason why this guy is like just wiped his whole history, but I don't know. I never caught on until then.
I think it's I mean, obviously it's your job to report on it, Pocket, so obviously that's why you made the video. But so what you're trying to say is you think people are going onto Twitter and making drama because they're bored?
Yeah,
right? That's part of the reason.
Yeah, I mean, why did Dayovi do that? Like what? Like how bored did he have to get to suddenly do it now? Why didn't he do it sooner? Why didn't he do it later? I think he was just bored, and like the way he did it, it was just like it was so random in my opinion. I don't think it was a planned thing. I feel like it was just like, because he literally said it himself. He's like, the reason why I blew my cover is because I became toxic. Like why was he just being randomly toxic like that toxic? People get bored. Do
you think that's having an effect on Hive content? Because like this month I've seen like this. I think this is my all-time high for Hive content. I think I've done amazing, but that's very like I'm like one of about 5 or 6 people. If even that. Like, there's a lot of people who have uploaded uploaded a lot less this month. A lot of people have quit. A lot of people I didn't know who quit, but a lot of people have quit. Like, do you think the whole situation regarding Hive is like just putting everybody's mood down? Because I think it is. I just want to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, but I think it's normal. I think that's just life. Because anywhere you go, any workplace, any community of YouTube gaming, and just anywhere in life, there's drama. You might not see it because you don't know about it, but I promise you, every person, every group, unless if they're quote unquote perfect, which I don't think exists, they're gonna have some drama behind the scenes. There's gonna be some tension. There's gonna be some little things, and like the people in life that are the most chill and like that are focused are the ones that don't let these things affect them. You know, they don't get into drama. Like there is some people that stay out of drama. I won't say that you know everyone's in drama, but in every community there usually is drama. You know, and there is always people that are leaving. Like I remember back in the lifeboat community, because I told you guys I used to be in the LBSG community, which is like the modern day or the past day Hive community. You know, like that's just Hive's like the modern day LBSG, right? Like you know, it's the bedrock, most popular server, pretty much with the most popular community for that game, whatever. And there was people leaving all the time, just constantly leaving. Like they would just, you know, get bored of the game, or they would lose interest and they would just move on with life. And that's just how things are going to be. There's going to be so many YouTubers, even some bigger ones that have over like 50k subs, that might leave, you know, when you know, in like a year from now, and they might never come back, and that's okay. And there's going to be some people that are going to erupt out of nowhere and possibly become the next big thing on Bedrock as well, on Hive. I think our community's fine, but yeah, most definitely. And I think it's a normal thing with how much drama has been happening, because that's just, you know, especially gaming communities, it's just a lot of toxicity. But yeah, it's definitely been affecting people negatively, bro. And
should it be this bad though? Should it be this bad?
Nah, this is definitely the worst it's been. 100%. It's just every little thing that's like, yeah, people are constantly fighting every day. Like I bet right now if we scroll on Twitter, there's probably someone arguing. Like remember there's tier list, the tier list for starting a war.
Oh, they always move though. They're gonna be back in about 2. They'll probably be back again by the time this podcast comes out. Like,
and I don't know what's the deal with people making a new tier list every month, because people don't realize how your tier list, unless if you're making it a monthly basis thing, like it's supposed to be like that. Shouldn't a tier list be like, you know, to look at like the way you rank somebody and the way you rate their videos and, you know, maybe who they are? How can that change so drastically in like 10 days? Like I just don't understand.
Yeah, because I'm not even gonna lie. I feel I'm not trying to big myself up here per se, but like people are basing on old content, because no offense to you, Jake, your content's good, but you haven't uploaded in a while, so people just still put you in S tier and rank me in C tier. I feel like my new content is a bit better than that, and they're basing it on like my old like videos, not my past like 7 videos, which I'm really proud of.
No,
you know?
I think most people base it on editing, and like I think that's mainly just it.
No, but even then my editing's been decent. Like it hasn't been up to your par, but it's definitely not C tier. It's not like, you know, I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, you get what I mean. So I guess because we faced stuff like this before, Pocket. That's the thing. We've seen a lot of negativity, be like a lot of like even Hive stuff getting exposed, all that kind of stuff. Hive streamers getting exposed. We're not going to touch on it too much. But we've seen like really bad stuff. But this feels like it's the worst it's ever gotten. And at this point, if it keeps getting worse, because it has been, it keeps getting worse non-stop. We'll come back from this and it'll get worse again. Do you think Hive content is, or not Hive per se, but the creators and the content, do you think it's on a very rapid decline? Do you think it will ever be saved? Like, because Hypixel has a lot of creators, so the hate kind of gets thing. Because you like, we don't see any hate in the Hypixel community for the most part from the outskirts, because the creators, there's so many of them, there's so much of a big community there that the hate is just unnecessary, if that makes sense. It's like pat down. With the Hive community, if you just join the Hive community, you're seeing about 2 or 3 things happening that are just so negative. Like, will Hive ever become big enough? Will the drama ever stop? Like, because you always report on this and make news on it, I kind of want to hear your thoughts. And like, Jake, if you want to leave thoughts as well, you don't have to, but if you want to leave your take on it as well, I'd be happy to hear that.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely not, like, it's weird because Hypixel, I've like researched their community pretty well. I'm still like, you know, I have an insider in there. Believe it or not, I have it like somebody who like literally will tell me if there's any drama going on. I think I made a video like a week or 2 ago about Hypixel or whatever, and like they don't have that much drama like compared to our community. Like they do, but it's like in their mainstreamer, God, that sounds so ridiculous, mainstreamer, I don't even think that's a word, but in their mainstream community there's not as much drama, right? Like with their bigger creators especially, like you don't see people like Hannah Rose and like Wally Bear constantly getting in drama, right? Or like being around that type of deal. But in our community it's so much different, because even our popular creators are getting in drama, right? And like our mainstream community is always in drama. Like obviously we have the Hive Scrim community, I'm sure y'all know what that is. There's like a lot of smaller Hive communities that are super toxic, but they're like smaller, right? So no one really hears about it as much. But our mainstream community, where like all the YouTubers are at and stuff, has way too much drama. I agree, for the amount, and like especially the portion size, like from the players, the amount of players to how much drama happens. When you compare it, it's probably a lot worse than Hypixel and like just probably any game but Call of Duty, or like, yeah, you know, or like maybe GTA because there's a lot of drama in them games. But yeah, I don't know. And like the decline, we could be on a decline. I'm not gonna lie. I've been worried about that. I've been worried like maybe our community might be dying. I know the Hive won't die, like the server itself, but the players and like a lot of people we know now might move on to a different game or do something else with their life or do a different type of content. I've already seen so many people taking off Hive in their titles, you know, and thumbnails. So
No,
because they'll
I think
get
that's more
more
of a
views
YouTube
in
thing, though.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
But still, like our community's changing, you know.
I think that like then again, even in the long run, that affects your content because yeah, you're a general Minecraft news channel, but you're like more known in the Hive community, so you're more like familiar with Hive news. So that's what you kind of, I won't say you focus on it more, but it's what you're best at, if that makes sense. So like,
yeah, it's my biggest viewership.
Exactly. So in the long run, when you're like making, when there's no positive content to make, you're making negative content, people aren't going to want to keep watching that. People love negative content, but like sometimes, like yeah, it's a thing, it's a known fact on YouTube, funny enough. But like if you always make negative content, people are going to get bored. They're going to want to see positive stuff, and that's like, that affects your channel. You know, that's it. You know, do you get what I mean?
Yeah, and it's so hard to make positive content when there's no positive news going out there, right? Like
Exactly.
I don't even know. Like the only times I could think of like positive news lately is like when there's a new update and everyone's excited about that. But like it's not even like the YouTubers and stuff.
Oh, well,
It's
yeah,
kind of
but
sad.
It's not a good idea though to like just pretend that everything's good and just like focus on the positive. So because
No, but
like,
I'm not
that's
doing
just
that. Just like,
yeah.
if it's always negative, it's crap. No, you don't. It's just like if Hive content is always negative, I'm not gonna want to keep like associating with Hive creators. I'll end up keeping myself to myself. Does that affect my channel for the better, for the worse? Like, you know, or will people associate me with these creators naturally because I make content on the same server? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's always like there's always gonna be like that downside kind of thing, you know. Do you have any take on the situation, Jake? Or, like your thoughts, I guess.
I mean, I don't know. I guess there might. I mean, the reason probably why there's a ton of drama is because our community is so close together. So like when one thing happens, like everyone gets known about it, and then they all express their opinions, whether that's good or bad, and then it just kind of just spirals out of control. I feel like that's like the main reason. Whereas with like a Bed Wars community, it's so much bigger, but like there's so much less of a community if you think about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like only there's only drama when like real big stuff happens, but otherwise like no one cares. Like it's not a big deal to anyone.
That's what I've noticed too.
Yeah. So like I guess the last question, and this is a yes or no answer pocket, mainly for the hook specifically. So it's just yes or no. I'm not going to let you leave any thoughts on this. Is this the future of the Hive community? It's a tough one.
Who's the future? Like, what do you mean by is this?
Drama, negativity. Is this the future of the Hive community?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna just say I think it's just a phase. I think once more people get older, maybe like a year or two, they'll mature. Like it'll. I don't think it'll always be this way. And maybe it gets worse. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe we get new people that are just like making it crazier. You know.
But here's the thing though. The Hive community are quite good at getting rid of people that are just that shouldn't be in the community. Like even though it's like it sounds bad, like they do have like a good, I guess, like idea of who shouldn't be here, who's just causing drama, who's just messing it all up, you know?
Sometimes.
Cancel culture used to be good. Cancel culture did used to be good. Like it used to be valid before. Like people that were really toxic, like on Daovi level, would get called out for it. But not all these other people getting canceled, quote unquote, for something stupid is like that kills the idea of it.
But like when it gets out of hand, like then the community know what to do, you know?
Yeah, sure. I guess we should probably move on to, I guess, a sort of more positive topic. And Jake, I'm gonna sit back because I've been doing a little bit.
Okay, they got the popcorn. I feel like y'all already halfway down with the popcorn, right? Viewers watching this at home, watching this on Spotify.
I was out of the house for 15 hours yesterday working. I'm so tired. So I'm gonna let
You're
Jake.
Describing like you're working on a farm.
Bro, I was doing floor sanding, Jake. Okay, do you know how tough that is?
Floor sanding.
Yeah, I was on. I broke my
Can you
back.
explain that for us?
You wouldn't understand because Jake's blessed enough to be editing for people.
Yeah,
actually
that's true.